Good morning. Welcome to my channel. This is Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. This is a channel about cross stitch and all the things related to cross stitch and sometimes my crazy life. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, and I'm so glad you came back if you're a returning viewer. Today is Father's Day. So I managed to get a video on Mother's Day and a video on Father's Day, and that was completely unintentional. It's just the way my schedule worked out. Today we have some family coming over. We're going to cook out. I don't have to cook anything this time. My husband cooked a brisket overnight, and he's still learning and experimenting with that, so we'll see how it came out. But I do love brisket. So good. It seems like life is just flying by. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's already June 16th, and I feel like there's just so much that's happening in the world. And my husband we finally got all the pieces done to put the application in for our permit for our house. It has been a long road. And so he hopefully will hear in the next couple of weeks. But in terms of moving forward, we can't really start until we get the permit. You know, we can't order the lumber and do the things that are needed to get it going until we know for sure, because if something came up and we couldn't build, we can't be sitting on $50,000 in lumber. You know, we just, so we're sort of in that whole pattern, but things are moving forward. So thank you for everyone who said a prayer for us, because it's taken a while, but it's coming. The end is in sight. So what have I been working on since the last time we talked? Well, let me show you. I have been diligent about working on at home. And it is, as I told you last time, it was my focus piece for June, and I focused on it. I focused on it, and I got it done. So this is Brenda Gervais at home. It's on 40 count lentil by Lakeside, which was a fantastic color to stitch this on. This color palette is so soft and muted and delightful. It's gorgeous. The lentil was a great fabric for this particular piece. Last time I was to about here, so it was about to the halfway point, but a lot of the heavy stitching is at the bottom. And I started stitching along the sides. I don't think I had put this inner line in, but I stitched the vine all the way around, and I was off. It didn't match. And I was like, dang. So I had to pull all of that out, and I didn't even try and salvage the thread. I just snipped every 10th thread and pulled it out. And then the next time when it came back, I started stitching the whole border so I could make sure that it was all, there's lots of points of reference to make sure it was working correctly. And these little motifs are fun. I really liked doing those. This is a satin stitch border. It's beautiful. She does that little sawtooth satin stitch border, and she did it in Rejoice Evermore, and I really liked it there. And I liked it in this, and then this is over one. It was the last thing I did, and I just made myself work on it. It was fine, but after you work all day, and I've been on a computer for 10 hours, then come in and the light's still okay, and then about 10 o'clock at night the light is gone, and I have my aught light, which is great, but over 1 on 40 needs better light than that. So, but I got through it. She's gorgeous. Loved every minute of stitching on this. I've seen other people stitch it. It's just a beautiful design. At Home by Brenda Gervais. Then I did some secret stitching that I can't show you. I might be able to show you in the next video. I did a little bit of secret stitching, and it was fun because they were smalls, and they were adorable. Then I picked up Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow because I'm behind. I'm behind on my plan. So this was the May block, and I'm stitching on that now. And then this is the June block. So for the rest of June, let's see, we're 16th, so we're more than halfway through. I'll be working on these two blocks, and they are I'm stitching them with NPI silks that my sons bought me as a Christmas present. So there's 4 of them. They split it 4 ways. It worked out perfect. I am stitching this on 40 or 46 count. I can't remember. Oops, I got I've got a needle hanging down there. I'll just stick it through. Parchment by Weeks. It's a fantastic color to stitch this on. So you can see the snow does show, which is great. And I just got to start on the bottom of this where the tree is right here. So there's just a little fence, and then I'll do the Christmas tree and the church and all the rest of the stuff, and that block will be done. My friend Marcy Thiessen on Instagram, she's also working on this, but she's doing the top 9. So the saying really starts here and it goes and ends here. And then you have some extra blocks down here. So you could easily just do these top 9, and that's what she's doing. And hers is beautiful. Check her out on Instagram. So I worked on that as well. And so I felt like when I worked on one project diligently, first of all, I loved it because I felt like I could get it done, and I did. But then there was a point where I'm like, oh, we'd like a little break and to stitch on something else, but I just really had that feverish goal to get it done. So I did. That was my focus. And now that once I get the Hawk Run Hollow caught up, my next focus piece is going to be my Mirabilia, and this is Florentina. Oops, sorry, there's a lot. It's a gray day today. It's going to be hot again later in the week, but lots of shadows today, so sorry about that. Florentina by Mirabilia, and this is on a 32 count. I think it's like rhubarbs and cream or something like that. And I want to say it might be a dyer who's no longer in business, or maybe from Australia. I don't remember. This was before 2018 that I started this, but isn't she just so pretty? And my goal is going to be to stitch on this one and Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain for July and August. So there's a lot of, hopefully I'll get one of the two of them done. My first goal is to finish getting her skin done, and then she's got an arm here with some flowers. So that's my goal, is to get that done, and then I will only have the bottom half to go and the beading. So that's Florentina. I'm looking forward to working on her. It's back to two strands of thread, and you have some nice big blocks usually in the Mirabilias. You know, I can do a big chunk of a color. And you still have to, excuse me, you still have to pay attention to where you're going, but it's not confetti. So it does seem to go when you get to the dress, but the dresses are big. They're all big. All right, so the next one I'm going to work on is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. This one is also a 2018 start, so I really wanted to finish both of these this year if possible. This is stitched on 28 count. It's not moss. I kept saying it was moss. It's something else. Oh gosh, what is it? It's not lichen. It's a hand dyed by Stephanie. Anyway, I wanted to stitch on this fat quarter, but in order to stitch it over 2, I would have had a 1/2 inch margin, and that wasn't going to work. So I ended up stitching it over 1. It's on Jobelin, which is an even weave, so it's really easy to see the holes on the fabric. And my next goal is to work on this barn and to get that done. Then it'll just be, the little motifs here and the little motifs here, and then the top half will be done. And I'll have to thread multiple needles just when I start working on the leaves of the trees, because they are not the same. Each one is a different color, and I have some overdyed in here and some DMC, but I think the trees are just going to be the called for DMC because it's going to be easier, I'm imagining. It doesn't have to be perfect, so if I stitch the wrong color on one, it's not a big deal. It's a leaf. How are you going to know? And then there's these memorial urn, I don't know what you call those. Anyway, those are pretty dense stitching. I probably will pick an overdyed thread for that. So Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And doesn't it feel weird? So first of all, it's June, and where I live, summer seems like it's just starting, right? Although it's been a pretty nice spring. A lot of times the sun doesn't come out until 4th of July here. People in the South are already canning, and we are just getting our gardens in, or they're just really starting to go. You could plant in May, but a lot of times your stuff might not come up because it's not warm enough. And so it feels odd for me to be picking up fall stitching in June. But goals, and I'm starting things. I'm not too worried about where I land in terms of the number of projects that I get done or how many whips I end up with. I have had that goal in the past, and I probably will have fewer whips, but I may not have reached the goal that I wanted, and I'm okay with that. Let's see. So yesterday, Mom and I went up to Acorns and Threads, which was delightful. And I wanted to kit up a couple projects. So I'm going to show you these. Teresa Kogut has the best Patreon. This is Tier 4 Patreon. Look at how beautiful that is. I was like, that is my color palette right there. And I ended up converting some of the DMC to quite a few of them to NPIs. And then there are some called for weeks that I just kept in there. The other one I kitted up is this one. Is that not so adorable? This, I think, will be a pincushion. And so, do I think I'm going to start those? Probably. Probably I'm going to start them, and I don't think they'll take all that long to work on. And when we were there, I saw lots of people. It was so much fun just to be with stitchers, and the shop was buzzing, and there were people stitching in the annex. I was in the main shopping area, and I can't remember who I saw first. It might have been Julie, but then Margaret was in there, and they're like, "Oh, we're stitching next door." And so I go next door, and Anna's stitching there. Anna Stitch Roadies, and just a bunch of stitchers, and they were having a great time. I was chatting with Janine too, and then I went back and bought more stuff once I saw what they were working on. It's a deflection. So I bought this. So everybody and their dog is stitching this. Janine finished it, and I think this is just a fantastic design. Just that long, skinny pillow, easy stitching, patriotic. Love this one. This is Beth Twist. It says, "I stand with Liberty." And it's got Lady Liberty, and those flowers are gorgeous. Cottage garden stitching. Cottage garden samplings. I'm just making things up now. Peacock. Just called Peacock Pincushion. I saw that she had, I want to say was this a kit somewhere? And a lot of people were inquiring about it, so she released it. And it's just adorable. Also, Teresa Kogut. These were retreat pieces last year, and they are adorable. Just a girl and making beautiful things. So I could see this, just stitching this up and being a collage on my craft room wall. In her Patreon group, I think she has one or two more that go with that. Because Margaret bought this. She made me buy it. But I forgot that I really wanted it because I had already seen it on social media. I was like, oh, I need that too. So this is a Biscornu. And it's got such beautiful contrast, but it's not stark white. It's this kind of honey colored with the chalkboard base. It's so pretty. And Acorns and Threads is carrying Cedar River Linen. One of the shops that's carrying it. So Jody Trixie Tricycle is the innovator and dyer for Cedar River Linens. I got a fat quarter. Oh, this is showing great? Isn't that gorgeous? You know what would be pretty on this is that Christmas Eve from Mirabilia. She's got a lot of red. She'd be gorgeous on this. I had a different thing in mind for it, but I might just do that. And I didn't have, I might have a piece of this overcast, but this is 46 count. I mostly stitch on 40. Every once in a while, though, I have a sampler that I want to scale it down just even more, and I use a 46 count. And I stitch, I mean, I don't just use Flosstube. I have for that, but I've also stitched it with regular threads. And then the Queen of the May. I have one other Queen of the May, I think. I didn't buy them all. I didn't buy Sarah Brazier. I don't think I bought the one last year, but I bought the first one. I want to say this is the fourth one, but isn't that, this reminds me of Sarah Stewart Hardiman with all of the, and Anne Rayner kind of with all the animals in the grass. I might change a couple of colors. I'm not sure. I might do an overdyed conversion. But I love the composition of this. It's one of my favorite charts by her that I've seen. So I picked that up. What else? This is going to go quickly. While I was there at Acorns and Threads, I had put a in search of post on one of the Facebook groups. And I really feel blessed to have a lot of patterns, a ton of patterns. So I don't really use those very much. But my friend Kim, who lives about 15 minutes from me, I was at her house stitching one day, and she had this on the wall, and I gasped. It is so pretty. And I went on the hunt for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't even find the designer anywhere on eBay or anything. And so I put in search of, and then my friend Lori, who works at Acorns and Threads, said, I've got a copy of this. You can have it. I was like, what? So she is so sweet. She said, put a funny little note with it. It got a little bit wonky in storage, but this is called Lizzie Slodoba, 1828, and she is so beautiful. I can't even tell you how much I love this pattern. I wish that we had the vault, like a big cross-stitch vault, where if you needed an out-of-print pattern, you could go buy it from the vault. But I'll return that to her once I stitch it, because she might stitch it one day. She's not sure. I won't need to keep it. I'll send it to her. What else? Oh gosh, this is some more stitchy kindness. Well, this is just some more crafty kindness. This is from my friend Stacy. She found a piece, or she had a piece of, this is Three Sisters. Yep, this is Three Sisters. Isn't this gorgeous? Ooh. She's tucked it in the mail and sent it to me because she loves me and she's so sweet. And there are two blackbirds that I didn't have. This one, and I finally saw it on a buy it now for a decent price, so I bought it now. And then Merry Christmas, Ella Vaughn. I don't have that one, and I really want to get that one. So I'm on the hunt for that. I picked this up from, who did I order this from? I don't remember. Summers Swan. I love that. Wouldn't that be pretty on a chalkboard fabric too? It's very pretty. And then this one I've been meaning to pick up. This is by Pansy Patchwork Quilts. Lori, she's from Canada. This is her daughter. It's called Blueberry Ridge is the design, and All Hallows Eve. So cute. Then, remember last time I was telling you about Minnick? I'm on this Minnick and Simpson collection run, and several of you have picked up books. Well, I found this one, The Spirit of Sacagawea. I think the Native American pronunciation is Sacagawea. And I just love it, but I also love the alternate block coloring. Oh, I need to live 1,000 lifetimes. And then on the last time I showed you, I picked up a fat quarter bundle of Ridgeway, I think is the Minnick and Simpson line, and I found the pink online, so I bought enough for backing for that quilt, whatever quilt I'm going to make for it. And then the last thing is, when you buy a quilt from a fabric store online, you're automatically on their email list. So I have like several stores that are sending me stuff. I'm in the process of unsubscribing, and I have bought from Shabby Fabrics several times. They are lovely. They have the best kits. I just love their stuff. And I was going to unsubscribe, but then I saw the first thing in their newsletter email, and I was immediately pulled in. In America, Little Garden House in America by Shabby Fabrics. And it's the combination of stripes and checks, and they're pre-cuts. So I don't have to cut it out myself. I looked at this and I thought, oh, shoot, I was going to unsubscribe and now I bought something instead. So check them out. They have wool applique kits. They have, this is all pieced and applique, and they have bigger kits that are all pieced. They have so much stuff. It's amazing. That's a commercial for quilting. Let's see. So what else is going on? Coming up, I have a little getaway with some friends, and that's this next week. So I'm on vacation, although I need to work some today. And I probably am going to binge watch. I'm going to stitch. I'm going to binge watch chick flicks. I just watched this. I have, I think, every other version of Emma, and I really loved this one. I watched it on, I don't remember what channel it was on. We just have Netflix and Prime and Hulu. No, Netflix, Prime, and Roku. And then we finally got Disney Plus, and we watched The Mandalorian. And I love Baby Yoda. I texted Laura, I'm like, I love Baby Yoda. Then I started watching, I think I watched this on somewhere on one of the channels. And yeah, I ordered it off of Amazon because you can stream that stuff. But I think in our new house, probably my craft room, I don't know that we'll have, I don't know what we'll have. We'll have another Roku box. I don't know what we're going to do. But my DVD player still works, and I've got a lot of movies, so I don't mind plugging those in. I really love doing that when I'm sewing or stitching or crafting. I just, that background of that familiar movie that I love to watch. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Also, are you guys watching social media and seeing that Stitchers Escape Getaways, I think? And it's a cruise ship, and they're cruising in around the British Isles. And so Tanya from Scarlet House and Pam Horner and Vicki Jeanette and Kathleen Littleton and a bunch of them are on this ship, and they're just having a ball. I loved Scotland. We went to Scotland for our 50th birthday, some girlfriends and I, and we're planning our next vacation. My husband's not a big traveler. We've gone some places, and we'll travel together, but he doesn't care if I go with my friends. But they look like they're just having a ball, and they've been to all my favorite places in Scotland, and I just feel like I need to go back. In fact, I would like in retirement to just take my husband there and spend a few weeks and check out the countryside. So that is what's going on. I will probably see you. Let's see. Today's 16th. I might see you before 4th of July. We'll see. If not, catch me on Instagram, and I should be back as soon as I have a chance. Have a great Father's Day. Take care. Thanks.